This is the final episode of the How to Film Skiing Masterclass. And we've done so much already. We have learned how to film in the backcountry. We've learned how to film on a gimbal. We've walked through all of the gear that we use to film skiing. We learned how to edit a ski film, how to plan a ski film. And in this video, we're gonna learn how to market your ski film and how to make a career as a ski filmmaker. Let's dive in. I'm pretty nostalgic thinking back on all of these 7 episodes and all that we've learned and all that we've done. But the party's not over yet because we have to dive into how to market your ski film. And there's so many fun ways to do it, especially in today's day and age. Although your ski film is a video, in today's day and age, it can sort of transcend a platform and it can transcend a format. You can have blog posts and photos to accompany it. You can post on social media. You can tour it around at film festivals. I'm gonna walk you through everything that you need to do and you can do to market your ski film and how to create a sustainable career as a ski filmmaker. The first and most important tip is networking. This applies to both marketing your ski film as well as creating a career as a ski filmmaker. Networking is often looked down upon, as we'd like to think of shaking hands and handing out business cards and doing deals, but networking can actually be a really fun and exciting process, especially as a skier. The outdoor industry is made up of people like you. It's made up of people that are passionate about skiing, passionate about snowboarding, passionate about getting outside and enjoying nature. And networking doesn't have to be taking place in a stale conference room. It can be at some brand activation. It can be at some event, the US Open of snowboarding. It can be in the backcountry, running into people and getting to know people in the community. I like to think of networking less as creating deals and more about creating community around something that we love. A lot of my connections in the outdoor industry didn't come from cold emails or pitch decks. They came from showing up in the community and going out in the world and meeting people. Even if you're introverted, I know that may seem daunting and overwhelming, but I promise you it's a really exciting process by showing up and creating a community around what you love. This can help lead to paid projects down the line, but it can also assist you in marketing your ski film. These are more connections on LinkedIn, more connections on social media, maybe more eyes that will see your film once it's out. So now that you know networking is important and you're creating a community of people that might be interested in your ski film, let's talk about what type of assets you need to create once the ski film is made to help market it and help get eyes on your film. The first is vertical edits for social media. Even if you're making a documentary, you can still take clips and trailers and teasers and tease them on social media. By doing this in a variety of posts, not just one post when your film is out, but kind of teasing behind the scenes or unused clips from your documentary to kind of create some hype around the film can help get people excited when it's going to come out. And from a numbers standpoint, if you have 5 films and each get 100 views, that's 500 views, which may be more if you were to just post one video that got 300 views. Typically, by spreading out and creating more content, you can get more eyes on your project and more eyes on your work. Today, the most popular way to do that is through vertical video, but you can also do it through teasing photos or creating a web page. Creating a website that can showcase your work is a really important part of not just marketing your ski film, but also being taken seriously as a ski filmmaker. When I hire for roles on my own productions, I typically prioritize people that have a website because it shows that they're that much farther along in their career and they're taking it seriously. Even if they only have 2 or 3 videos up there and are just getting started, having a place that's not Instagram and it's not YouTube that you can show who you are and what you do is a really beneficial part of marketing your ski film and creating a career as a filmmaker. And the best part about creating a web page is you can market it on social media as well. So you can have your social media posts and some of that traffic can then go towards your website and you can help build your brand off of these platforms. I have an email newsletter, I'm very active on LinkedIn and social media and YouTube, but all of these things, ultimately, I want to create a community around myself, and that is done primarily through my website and through my newsletter. So by creating a brand for yourself that people can go to your website and know who you are, that's the most valuable tool that you can create. And creating a brand for yourself, creating a career, and as a result, marketing your work down the line, not just for this specific ski film that you made, but all the other ones you may make later on. So now that you've created some additional assets other than your final video project, you've made some vertical videos, you've created some accompanying photos, you've created a web page, you might want to consider submitting to film festivals. Film festivals are a really valuable experience to go and learn what other people are doing in the industry. A lot of my films have been accepted to a wide range of film festivals at this point, and I've learned that attending a film festival in person can lead to a lot of valuable learnings along the way. By attending these film festivals, you're able to create a community, as we've talked about, but also watch and see what other filmmakers are doing and how they're learning from their experiences and what you can learn from their experience as well. We're all out here trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to create meaningful, memorable ski films. And when you can go to an outdoor-focused film festival, other people might be doing it in different disciplines, and there might be a wider variety of stories than just ski films, but you can learn a lot from other people. If you're lucky, you'll go to the film festival and your ski film may find a distributor from that film festival. Last November, I was in England presenting at the Kendal Mountain Festival, where I connected with the Waterbear Network, which is an online streaming platform that's dedicated to meaningful storytelling. They'd seen my film, they liked my film, we connected in person, we had conversations, and they ended up licensing it for their platform where you can watch it today. So there are sorts of opportunities that way too. By going to a film festival, creating a network, you might meet with marketing directors, you might meet with streaming platforms, you might meet with agents that might want to sell your film later down the line to places like Red Bull or Outside TV or various other platforms that might want to host a ski film. And that's kind of it for marketing your ski film. Your job is to create a video that people find memorable and that they find meaningful. If you do that and you succeed, good work doesn't get unrewarded. It may get unnoticed right now if you don't put in the effort to go through these marketing processes and try to get people to see your film. But the more you do this and the more you practice and the more connections you make, the more opportunities will come down the line.
One thing I love about attending film festivals in person is you get to see what works. You get to see the reactions of the faces on the people. You get to meet other directors to hear how they're conducting their business. You get to watch other creative decisions about other stories being told. Lots of benefits to going to a film festival and seeing the process.
I remember my first film that I made in college. I didn't really care what I did with it afterwards. I just cared that I made something and I was proud of the final product. I look back on it now and I know that that was my best work then, but it is definitely not my best work now, which is showing I'm growing, but also the connections that I have now are very different. I've had my films licensed to a handful of networks that once I finish another film, I can call these networks up and say, hey, I have something else, are you interested? Which is something that I was not in the position of doing when I made that first film in college anyways. So now let's chat about how to make a career as a ski filmmaker. There's a lot of ways you can make money as a ski filmmaker, but I'm gonna outline the 3 ways that I've done it. The primary way that I do it, and the way that I feel like is most common in the ski industry because budgets are typically a little smaller, is you can work directly with athletes and directly with brands. Working directly with athletes who have connections to brands can be a great way to get in the door. By working with a sponsored athlete, you know that brand will end up seeing your content. So put in your best work, create connections with athletes, go out on the mountain, use the skills that you've learned here in this masterclass, and go create meaningful work. If you are an athlete and you want to help bolster your image, create content and submit that to the brands themselves. You might not even need an extra filmmaker, you might be able to do it all yourself. The scale of these projects can range wildly. You can do small social media posts for these brands, or you can do larger campaigns and branded documentaries. Most of my work lies in the branded documentary realm, where I'm telling meaningful stories about real athletes and real people in the outdoors. Once I create those documentaries, I'll actually repurpose them for these brands on social media as well. Like I've talked about, creating a wide variety of assets for your film can be beneficial not just in marketing it, but also in brand collaborations. I'm not just selling one video, I'm selling 10. I'm doing one long form piece and 9 accompanying short form pieces that they can use on social media to bolster their brand image. Another way you can make money as a ski filmmaker is by submitting to magazines. This may be a smaller and less financially rewarding opportunity, but it can help get you experience and get your name out there. I haven't really taken this route because I've primarily been working with brands and haven't focused too much on the editorial side, but I'm sure there's lots of information out on the internet on how to submit to magazines and how to pitch and how to do all of that stuff. So I'll leave that for now, but that is one way that you can do it. The third and final way that I'm going to touch on is working with a production company who focuses on creating ski content. There's a huge need for ski videos and ski photos these days. It's a growing industry, and there are production companies that specialize specifically in doing that. If you enjoy one specific part of the process, for instance, filming on a gimbal on the mountain, or editing, or coloring, you can create relationships with these production companies that then can pair you with opportunities. You can earn a day rate, and you can go out and earn money by working for the production company. You're not talking with clients, you're not having to do any of the pre-production or post-production if you're only filming. You won't have to do any of the pre-production or production if you're editing. So there's all various ways that you can specialize when working with a production company, but those are the 3 primary ways that I can see working in the ski industry as a filmmaker. But drop a comment below if you have any other ideas, because there's a lot of ways that you can make money. You can get totally creative even here on YouTube. Being a ski influencer or creating content specifically for YouTube is also a viable path. I've been experimenting with the short form content over the course of this year, and it's also led to some interesting opportunities, so you can try things that way too. My final tip when marketing your ski film and creating a career in the ski industry as a filmmaker is prioritize marketing. Our job as filmmakers is obviously to create videos and create stories that are meaningful and last. But without the marketing skills to make people see those films and feel those emotions, you're kind of doing half the job that you could be doing. Marketing isn't as clear-cut as video editing is, for example. It's more difficult to open YouTube and gain the hard skills that you need to be a successful marketer in the outdoor industry for your ski films.
Going in with the idea of, I'm making a ski film, this is the project I want to make, when in reality, the story was totally different. I feel like for me, I learned a lot, like trying to be more empathetic as a filmmaker and get to know the communities I work with. Obviously, I come in with my own bias, but trying to understand others' experiences and share that story and hopefully share it with you all so you can get inspired to do your own things and try new things.
Hopefully this video helps, but this is just one part of a very big process. In essence, marketing is about promoting or selling a product. And over the course of these 7 weeks, during this How to Film Skiing Masterclass, you've created a product. It's easy to think of filmmakers as the people that hit the record button and put it in the editing software and put it out into the world. But I think in today's day and age, you can really set yourself apart by thinking through what happens after you've made the video. Now that the video is done and you're promoting it and selling it and putting it out into the world, thinking through what is the best way to do that can really elevate your opportunities in the industry and elevate your filmmaking skills down the line. I've noticed that my work has gotten a lot better over the years, partially because I'm more experienced, but also because I have a budget that I can work with when I'm working with brands, and I have resources that I can devote to these ski films. I can create more time, I can hire assistants and editors and do these things to help elevate the product. If I never focused on marketing and I never focused on getting these resources together, I wouldn't be elevating my work to the level that I feel like I'm able to now. So as you go forward in your career, think of the marketing stage as just another stage of the process. You need to plan your film, you need to create your film, you need to edit your film, and you need to market your film. I've tried to make each video as thorough as I can possibly be, but if you have any questions about anything throughout the whole series, feel free to drop a comment below. I hope you found this series helpful. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe because there are more videos coming about adventure filmmaking every Wednesday. The party's not over. I love you, I'm proud of you, have the best day ever.